What's up, guys, and welcome to my favorite low bar muscle up drills. If your goal is to get a bar muscle up, this is the place you have to start. We're going to go over just 4 or 5 drills that I think are very beneficial for you to get your bar muscle up. But we got to start here, and before we can even start with the drills, we have to talk about how to set the low bar. So we're going to bring it over here. I've already got a bar on the rack with one side set up. The most important thing is going to be setting the bar to roughly belly button level. This place works for almost every low bar drill that we do. So making sure that bar is set up and that belly button is a good target, because the taller you are, the higher that belly button is, and the shorter you are, the lower the belly button is, but we can always set it to a rack here. Second thing is going to be, how do we set the bar so it doesn't move? And so I've already got one set up, but we're going to take you through step by step, tagging this bar to the rig so that it doesn't come off. So let's bring us a little bit closer here so that you can see. I'm going to bring you guys down just a bit. So what I've got here is our bar on the rack. And we've got a band, and generally any band size will work. I go smaller band. It's a little bit easier to manipulate, but you guys find the band size that works really well for you here. Where we're going to start is we are going to put the band through like I would be doing a banded pull-up. From here, I'm going to come behind the bar and then around, and I call making it the first X. After that, we're going to go behind the rig, behind that upright. We are going to then come under the J-clip, and then I'm going to pull up and around as we attach this here. So now we've got a strong, secure thing that this low bar is no longer going to move. And that's going to be important because some of the drills that we do are very dynamic. And the last thing that I would want is this bar coming off the rig. Another good note, guys, even though this is very secure, always do the drills pulling into the rig, never come around to the outside. We just don't want one of those bands getting a little bit too crazy and popping off. Before we dive into the drills, guys, I do want to point out that this is a live, and if you have any questions, shout them out because I'd love to answer on here. This is the opportunity that you guys can really dive in and get some good stuff. So first thing that we're going to chat about, guys, is called the strict transition. The strict transition, and this is the fundamental drill if you, one, want to get a bar muscle up, because it teaches us how to keep active pressure on that bar. Second, it sets the stage for you understanding how to do the rest of the drills that we're going to do. So the strict transition, guys, I'm going to put this a little bit further away that you can see. We want to think about taking the bar and having a straight arm press down until my elbows are above my wrist, and that's going to be really important for every single drill that we do on this low bar. A bar muscle up, a kipping bar muscle up, is not a pulling motion with our biceps, but it is a pushing motion with our lats for the most part, right? So we're going to take the bar and push it down until elbows are above wrist, and from there we can pull ourselves on the bar. But if we go earlier than that and pull, it becomes a pulling motion instead of a pushing down motion. We want to make sure that we are getting these lats here. Best grip techniques for bar muscle ups is going to be the kipping. So we're going to do what we call the true grip. If we are looking into the strict motion, there is a false grip, and then there is a swinging positional movement that will help. We are going to be on the bar a decent amount. I'm going to throw some grips on real quick, guys, and then we're going to get to it with the strict transition. While I'm setting up these grips, if you guys got any questions, now is the time to shout them out. If you missed any part of this live, we are going to throw it onto our YouTube page so you guys can go back and watch it again and again in a easily searchable format. It's one of the things that I love about YouTube. Love Instagram for the connection. Love YouTube for the easy searchability. So both are good. We do have a lot more long form on YouTube, so if you like these longer, specific drill stuff, go check it out. We'd love to have you there. All right, drill number 1 is the strict transition. And so what we're going to do on the strict transition, guys, I'm starting behind the bar. I'm going to grab it in a bit of a closer grip than you might go for pull-ups. I know some of us go pretty wide on the pull-ups, but our goal is not to pull ourselves up. It is to push ourselves up and over. So a little bit closer grip. My feet are going to be directly under the bar, and I'm going to sit back and down. The focus here is to slowly push with straight arms until my elbows come above my wrist, and then from there, pull up and over on the bar. Let's show you from a different angle, maybe a little bit closer so you guys can really see this. This is a simple movement, right? We are pressing through our legs, but also through our arms, but the idea is that we feel this movement. We feel this active pressure down. So one more time, different angle. I'm here, feet underneath the bar. I'm sitting back here. From here, I have active pressure pushing until I get about here, and then I'm going to pull myself in to the bar and over. One more time in this slow, active pressure. Arms are straight, arms are straight, arms are straight. I'm pushing until here, and then I pull myself up and over. We are going to add to this drill in a bit with a movement called the strict presser, and that's going to teach this straight arm push down even more. But before we get there, guys, I want to go into one of my favorite drills, which I call the toe tap transition. The toe tap transition. So I'm going to move us back a little bit for this one, because if you don't understand the start of this one, we're not going to understand the rest. Let's find a good spot. I think I'll actually go from the side. That might be better. Okay. On the toe tap transition, guys, it's like a math equation. If you don't get the first part right, the rest of it is just not going to work. And so what we're doing is understanding that this is not a pulling motion or a bent arm pushing motion, but a straight arm swinging motion, just like the kipping bar muscle up will be. And so what we're doing on this drill, guys, we're actually going to start extended out in front of the bar. I want to make sure we get the right angle on this one. Extending out in front of the bar. I'm going to pull my knees to my chest, and that's going to allow me to swing back behind the bar, and that's where we're going to start. So I'm hanging on the bar. I'm in this position here. I'm extended out as far in front as I can, and all I'm doing is knees to chest and swinging. One more time, I'm here in this position, and I'm going to go knees to chest and swing. Understanding this fundamental starting step will make every other part of this drill make more sense. Guys, before we dive too far in, we are talking about this today because we just released our Kipping Bar Muscle Up program. If you want to take the drills that we're working here and put them into your own programming to get a better or first bar muscle up, we just released it. If you comment on any of our posts, the word BMU, bar muscle up, but BMU, that will take it straight to you. We'll send it to you. And guys, we do have a special secret discount code because Black Friday is here. So if you're interested, comment that. Not here on any other post. We will post this and you can see it again there. So guys, one more time. I'm going to do this swing so you understand it. But then I'm going to add a next step, which is that strict transition that we just did. So I'm here, extending out, knees to my chest as I pull here. But now I'm going to keep that active pressure pull over. So we swing back in a dynamic fashion. Then we go to the strict transition that we just talked about and actively pushing that bar over. Okay, so I'm going to show you that one more time. We're here. Remember, extending out in front of the bar. Knees to chest here. Active pressure, slow transition over. Understanding it slow is important first because we are about to go fast. So understanding slow is important because we're about to go fast. The next part, guys, is where the toe tap comes in. And the toe tap is where my knees drive up, and then I'm going to tap, and then come up and over. We have somebody asking about what grip is best to use. So, guys, on a swinging muscle up, on a dynamic muscle up, we want just a true hanging grip. There's not going to be a false grip here. False grip is for a true strict motion. On the rings, we false grip and over. On a hanging down, bar, muscle up, I pull over in that false grip. But in a dynamic bar muscle up, we are going to use a hanging grip, a true grip. Guys, let me show you the next phase of this. This is where the toe tap comes in. So I'm hanging out in front. My knees come up to my chest. From there, we are going to tap the ground, but I'm going to actively push over on that bar. It's important to think about the floor being lava. What I don't want to do is have my feet down and transition. We are thinking about an active pressure turnover. So hanging out in front, knees to chest, swinging behind, tap your feet down on the ground as quickly as possible, then pop up and over. Should look like this. Extending out, knees to chest, and I'm going to swing up and over. It is fast. Guys, this motion has to be a quick tap and over. A quick tap and over. We are not rushing through this. One more time, guys, so you can see it. Fully extended. Let yourself swing until your hips are behind the bar. Your knees are in line with the upright, which is going to be so important for the dynamic bar muscle up. So we're here. I'm out in front. I'm pulling until hips and knees are behind that bar and drive and over. Still using our legs, but quick as possible. Okay, so we've talked about our strict transition. We have talked about what we call the toe tap transition. What we're going to do now is called the low bar rolling muscle up. And guys, this one helps you feel some dynamic motion, okay? Some active lat pressure, and it also core connection. There we go. Guys, and this one also helps you feel how to keep active pressure up and over. For this one, you're going to need the setup that we already have on this low bar, but you're also going to need a medicine ball, okay? Where I like to start with this one is just understanding the basics of rolling. On the roll, we need to make sure that I'm pushing down with straight arms. Remember, this is a lat-oriented movement, not a bicep movement. We are not pulling ourselves up. We are pushing ourselves down. This matters. So I'm here. I want you to start with your hips just below the bar, with the ball around the calf level right here. So I'm in this position, and all we're going to do is understand what it feels to extend out and pull behind. We want to understand the basics of this rolling motion. Start there, feel that out first, because if we don't understand how to roll through, the rest of this drill is going to be difficult. Okay? Once we understand this, we need to understand how to roll our feet up to the ball and push through to where my shoulders are parallel to the bar. So this is going to be step 2. Scapula protracted or retracted is what people are saying. So am I here or am I here? And actually what we're going to do is we're just going to stay stable. So we're not thinking about here, and I'm not thinking about being here. We want to have a good, stable, strong position, okay? So don't get too crazy with it. Don't think together. Don't think too far apart. We are just going normal. So step 2, I'm going to extend out. As I roll back, I'm actually going to pull my knees up to where the bottom of my foot is on top of the ball. So that should look like this. Still starting in that same position, sitting below the bar, calves right here. We are going to extend out, but then I'm pulling my knees back to my chest. And understanding this drive first. We do need to understand that the knees pull back and the feet step on top of the ball for this drill, because that's how we're going to press up and over. From here, we swing out, we pull back, the feet pull into that ball, so they're standing on top, And then we want to actively push down as my feet extend up. So it's going to be the next step. Okay? Here in this position, sitting down, we're going to extend out, and then I'm going to finish up and over the bar. So we extend out, feet up and over as we press through. One more time. Whoop. Got a little wild on that one. One more try. Here, pull back and over on the bar. If we want to get a little bit more dynamic, we can actually jump into the ball, and this is going to feel similar to what we're doing on that bar muscle up. Starting behind the bar, we're going to jump into it, swing through, knees up, and press out. And if we can understand that idea of swinging through and back, the bar muscle up gets a little bit easier. Going to take a second, see if we got any questions as we're rolling on in this one. Remember, if you missed any part of this, we are going to post it again. Also, every one of these drills are included in the bar muscle up program that we just put out. Next, what we're going to do, guys, is the single leg driving series. This helps me understand where my knees need to go, as well as a hip driving action as we're transitioning through. So we're going to get the ball out of the way. Make sure your feet are sticky. So if you got a chalky gym, take that off. What we're going to do, I'm going to have my foot just in front of the bar with my other foot straight. I'm going to keep active pressure as my knees drive up, and we're pressing through. The next one is we are going to press through, pop, and then we're going to press through, pop, and turn over. So it looks like this. Starting in this position, okay, I'm going to bring my my glutes to my heel. From here, I'm going to drive my knees up. Just understanding this active pressure position. This is what we call our loading position. This is the knee driving to chest position. The next thing that we're going to do is this knee drive snap down. And this is going to simulate those hips opening up as we start to transition over. But on the step 2, we're not going to transition yet. We're just going to pop the hips with active pressure. Here in this position, drive through, knee pop. This position, knee pop. One more time. This position, knee pop. Once we understand the knee drive, we're actually going to tap and transition over, trying to feel this aggressive hip opening that's going to take us up and over while we keep active pressure down on that bar. So it's going to look like this. Here in this position, knee drive, pop, and over. And over. Last thing that we can do, guys, is called the strict press through. This is a way that we are teaching active, strong pressure through a whole range of motion. So this is more of a strengthening exercise as opposed to a skill exercise. On the same setup, we're going to take 2 plates or something that's going to raise us up a bit. I would also add a bit of weight so they don't slide. Setting up our position. Now I'm going to grab a weight so they don't move. You guys can come with me. Remember, if you have any questions, go and throw them out there. This will be the last drill that we talk about. Then we're going to cover kind of what we do in that kipping bar muscle up program. Back in our setup, we got our weight. Keeping our arms as straight as possible, sitting back, and I'm pressing through. But the rule now is that my arms cannot bend. We are thinking about keeping active pressure through this whole range of motion. We're going to grab one more weight. One more weight so it doesn't move. Guys, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. I think the hardest part is the transition. It's what we're talking about. But Hannah, if you are interested, we've got a program. It's going to get you through it. All right. Last thing, guys, right here. Active, strong pressure. Pushing through. Arms straight. Guys, last thing I'm going to chat about is if you want to take these drills into a, place that gives you a step-by-step instruction. We did just release our bar muscle up program. We'd love to have you on it. This is going to be an 8-week program. 8-week program. That's 3 days per week. That's designed to be included with what you are currently doing. It includes every one of those drills that we just did, plus a whole lot more. And guys, you get me. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me on Instagram. I'd love to talk to you about it. You can also go to the post that we made earlier today. If you comment the word BMU, we'll send it straight to you. Also, you can reply to the story that we have talking about it, and it'll go straight your way. If you guys have any other questions, reach out to me personally. I'd love to answer. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being a part of this.